What's up, guys? Maxwell here. So it's shoot, it's like close to like 2 a.m. right now. Um, One of the blessings of having ADHD is you just get random bursts of energy. So most people would be tired right now, but I have that drive right now to get done of what I desperately need to get done. And a lot of people watching this video could be like, "Oh, why didn't you get it done sooner? Why did you get it done sooner?" I'm going to describe a concept in this video that I'm sure really, if you're watching this channel, you will understand, because most of the people subscribe to this channel subscribe for a reason, and they will understand what I'm talking about. So really, with this video, I want to express, I think this is going to be another reclaiming biblical masculinity video. I'm thinking I might have what the title of the video is, and then put reclaiming biblical masculinity, because it gets pretty repetitive just saying reclaiming biblical masculinity. But really, a huge realization just came over me, and that has been, when you get so rock bottom to the point where you just feel this deep darkness, and this deep darkness so much to the point where it's like it's a dangerous level of darkness, where it's like if you go any more, you are putting yourself in danger. And I say that because, we've all gone through our difficult circumstances, and we've all had those moments where we've gone through them and we've risen back up. And I think what's difficult to understand, because for most people, because a lot of times when we go through difficult situations, all we want to do is like, oh man, I don't want to face this. I don't want to face this. I need to, I got to distract myself. I got to distract myself with just anything that's comfortable in order for me to get to, in order for me to not feel this way. And that, before I get to the main point of what I'm talking about, that's something that I did. I went through majority of this quarter. For me, it was, I remember, I think this connects to my last video, where I went through this really painful period, not only like my last quarter, but also this painful period where I was just feeling so low, and it was something where I felt like I was just trapped in this feeling. All I wanted to do was for God to move me forward, and for some reason He was just allowing me to keep feeling this pain, these emotions, and I didn't understand why. And it's the same thing, where it's instance where it's like when somebody is in a cave, and it's a dark cave, and you have no idea where you're going, but at the same time, for the people who are in the cave, they know exactly that they know for a fact that they're still going to get somewhere. They just have to trust in where they're going. And I've learned that the more that we rush out of the difficulty that God is intentionally putting us through, the more likely we are bound to become unfocused and to just constantly distract ourselves with pleasure. And there was a period of time where I had really just honestly over this break, and even for a majority of this quarter, that was the mindset I was in. And I'm learning now that that's something that God didn't want me to do. I didn't learn it until weeks later, but I'm learning now that God had to have me go through this deep emotional pain, and that deep emotional pain was just I mentioned briefly in the last video, but it was just having feelings for somebody that didn't feel the same way for me at all. And I knew the reality 100%, but for some reason it's like my words were just not translating to my mind, and I just kept feeling it. I just kept feeling it, and I didn't understand why, and it kept persisting and persisting, and my focus on my work was just it became such a battle, and I didn't know why. I know for a fact that, you know, obviously school is already difficult as it is, and it's like I had this persistent feeling towards somebody for what felt like, from my own understanding, it felt pointless. It's like, man, school is already difficult enough as it is, and now I have this bare battle in my mind of somebody where it's like I was constantly just attached to this person, to the point where my whole focus was on this person. It delayed me from getting the work that I wanted to get done. I was like, God, why are you doing this? God, I just want to be successful. I don't get it. And it made me realize that throughout all this ache I kept feeling, I realized that God allowed me to feel these deep, low emotions in order for him to build me back up. Build me back up in the sense where it's like, it reminds me so much of how in the book of Job, God, in the crazy way, what feels like to those who are just like getting into the Bible, or those who don't know what, you know, haven't read the Bible at all. So Job is basically about this man who God who God had to have him suffer it's so greatly in order for him to just receive the blessings that God was about to bless him with. And so God basically told Satan, hey, Satan, just take away these important these important aspects of Job's life, but at the same time, don't kill him. Just take away these aspects of his life that mean so much to him, and but don't kill him. And so when God did that, so Job had all these boils on his face, and Job just he was in rags, he was starving. People were telling him, Job, you're crazy. Why do you believe that there's a purpose behind what you're going through? You're suffering. You're literally dying before our eyes. Job, why are you still trusting in God? And it reminded me of my situation this past quarter, where it's like, I know for a fact that from other people's understanding, it makes it seem like, man, Maxwell, how come you're not working hard enough? Maxwell, how come it's taking you so long to get this done? How come this and this and this is this? Everybody on the outside is going to keep telling you how come this isn't happening? How come this isn't happening? It's the reason why is because you can only put in so much effort for what you can control, but what God puts over your life, you can never control that. You can never control this phenomenon that God has over you. It has over your emotions, to the meaning, like for example, this whole, like I was mentioning earlier, with this whole thing where just attaching to somebody who didn't feel the same way. I did not grant any permission or sign any contract for that to happen, but God made it happen because He wanted me to feel this pain in order for me to just build this self-respect and this self-resilience. Because the more pain that you go through, it's kind of similar to the video where I was talking about stress, where, you know, the more stress you go through, the more quick you are on your feet to adapt. Similarly, the more pain you go through, the more likely you are to adapt in regards to you having to practice self-respect for yourself. Because when you go through so much pain, you have no choice but to go up. And for those who are just gonna who go through all this pain and they wallow in the pain and they wonder, why is this happening? Woe is me, I don't want to go through this pain. You're missing the point. This pain is supposed to strengthen you. It's supposed to help you become the man or woman God has called you to be in the future. And yeah, through this pain that you're going through, it makes it seem like, oh man, this pain is just so distracting. I just want to get the work that needs to be done to accomplish what needs to be done. And sometimes it feels like, man, God, I just keep working and working, and it keeps feeling like I'm falling more behind, and it keeps feel like I'm failing. God, it feels like every time I try to grasp my mind, something's just against me. And to that, I've learned that God is using that in your favor. He's not playing against you. He's just using all this adversity in order for your comeback to be the greatest it's ever been. A lot of people think the moment that they start to struggle at something, or something seems to be off track, they immediately panic, like, oh no, my reputation's ruined. Oh no. If you're caring so much about your reputation from other people, you're not understanding the plan that God has for you. Because everything that happens in your life, God knows why it's happening. Other people will never know why it's happening. You can't expect to think that you have to do everything everything in your life in order to keep people in it. It's not the point. Everything that you go through in life is there for you to build your identity in yourself, because you are the only person that you spend the most time with. You are the person who spends every waking hour in this life, like, just with. And that's what God wants you to understand. Yes, being diligent wherever you are is important. Yes, having great collaboration skills is important. Yes, practicing and building yourself up to prepare yourself out in the world, or for careers, anything like that. Yes, that's important. Though, what's the most important is how you see yourself in adversity. Because if you see yourself, at the moment you go through adversity and you tell yourself, oh shoot, oh man, I did something wrong. I did something wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. You are just simply living the human experience. That is supposed to happen. You could be the hardest working person ever and still go through crap ton of adversity, because everybody goes through that. Everybody goes through adversity. If you think you're the only person that goes through adversity, if you think you're the only person that that is, struggling to just maintain some sort of stability, or feel like, oh man, I feel like I'm the only person that is making it obvious that is struggling. You have no idea of the other people that are out there. And at the end of the day, really, to just, I would say, to wrap up this video, you have to go through these emotions in order to have that drive to build yourself up to the point where you have no choice but to think positively. Because for me, I noticed when early this week, I was experiencing some dark emotions, because I was feeling so low in all this work I had to catch up on, and just all the stress that is compounded in me from all these weeks and all these months, and all this loneliness and all and everything I was feeling. But I'm not saying that as a way to, like, as to say what was me. I'm saying it as a way, just to show perspective, because the moment I was feeling this dark emotion, I knew for a fact that the only place I could go was up. The only place that I had to focus on was up. If I entertained a smidge of a negative emotion, then it would be a detriment to the success that God wants me to have. If I paid attention to an ounce of a negative emotion, I would be feeding the beast. I would be feeding Satan's lies. I would be feeding in these dark thoughts that were hell bent on keeping me down. So I am at this frequency right now where all I can do is go up. No matter how I'm thinking right now, no matter where I am, if there's a moment in my day where I'm not, I'm kind of stagnating, or I'm fluctuating in productivity, I'm not going to tell myself, oh man, I should be more productive. Oh man, I can't believe this. Oh man, oh no, because it's going to be feeding the version of myself that doesn't align with how God sees me. You have to keep aligning yourself with how God sees you, no matter your no matter where your journey in improving yourself is. Because when on your journey in improving yourself, you're going to in moments succumb to these low emotions, or succumb to that lower version, or to that carnal pleasure-seeking version. But the choice remains: how long are you going to stay there? Are you going to use that to contemplate of how to refocus to get to that other version of yourself? Or are you going to sit there and wallow and think, man, maybe I'm in this, maybe I'm going through this difficult situation, maybe I'm thinking this way because God wants me to give up? What? No. God wants you to use these moments of confusion and doubt as a way to figure out, how can I rise up again? How can I rise up even higher? How can I rise up to the highest potential? God's using all of your difficulties in order for you to keep stacking up to get to your highest potential. No matter where it is, no matter if you're currently struggling in a class, no matter if you're currently struggling in a business, no matter if you're currently just struggling into getting that idea off the ground, do not let where you are currently dictate how you should end up. Because the moment when people think that they should give up because, oh man, I've struggled so much in this class. Oh man, yeah, I've been struggling and I'm failing in this area. So and just the pressure is just weighing down on me. I should just give up. No, you should use the time to just dig into yourself and unleash the person that God has called you to be. Unleash the version of yourself that you think you can't find, because it is in there. It is buried deep in there. You just have to unleash it. You have to claw at it and find it and scour and search even when you think it's not there, because it's there. It is always there. Because if you're here, if you're still here and you're living and you're breathing, you have life. You have breath in your lungs. You have something to provide no matter where you are in this moment. It is there. Keep searching for it. Keep finding it. No matter what anybody says, no matter what your past was like, no matter the people who told you that you were this, you will struggle. You won't make it. You won't get here. Don't listen. Don't listen to the lies that Satan has told you for so long. Keep going at the path. Keep finding that within yourself, because you will succeed. You might not succeed in the way you think you're going to succeed, but God will provide a way for you to succeed. So stick to it. No matter how many times people call you crazy, stick to it. Because if God is guiding you, you listen to God. Every single person who is living, God is using individually. God is not grouping people to think the exact same way, because that's not how it works. God has created you individually, so respect it. Do not doubt yourself. Do not think that, man, God made a mistake. He did not make a mistake. If he didn't no, God does not make mistakes. You are here purposefully. Don't ever forget that. Use everything that you're going through to get to where you deserve to be. Do not doubt that. Do not give up. Keep going. No matter how much you're on the ground and you're crying and you're wondering, God, can you just make it stop? Because he's using that to strengthen you so much, to inspire so many people. So keep going. Don't give up. No matter if you feel like you think things should be different, don't think that way, because everything that you are going through up until this moment is building you up into somebody you won't even recognize in the future. So keep at it. Keep trusting the process, and at the same time, keep taking action. No matter how imperfect it is, your way of action could be so imperfect to the point where you keep getting distracted and you have to refocus. You keep getting distracted, yeah, you keep having to refocus. Trust that process. Don't think, oh man, what I shouldn't just do, I just won't do it because I keep having trouble focusing. The process of how to be successful is not how I imagine. Oh man, I keep overthinking. Oh man, it's just not, the process is just not going the way I planned. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. Because the more you stick with it, the more you train your mind to persevere through the uncertainty, to persevere through the difficulty. No matter what you're doing, you will get to a flow state. You will get to a point when all you can do is focus. And no matter what time that flow state happens, don't give up. Don't stop. You can get in a flow state as I'm getting into it right now, where it's probably after 2 a.m, and I am still going to do the work. Do not think, oh man, you should be asleep right now. Or why are you awake so late? Because you don't understand how driven I am to get to where I want to be. You have to respect that, because other people are not living the life that God has called you to be, and God has called you to be successful at. So, with that being said, please stop beating yourself up. No matter where you are right now, if you feel right now that you've gone through so much trials and tribulation, but you're finding a groove. Don't regret the past. Just be grateful that you're on the path to greatness, and you've trusted the process, and you've gone through it, and you've mastered that difficulty. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm going to be doing some work on my computer in my car. This journey, it comes with being incredibly unbalanced, because yeah, everybody's some people have it easier, some people have it harder. I put easier in quotes because you look at other people who it looks like they have it easy, but you have no idea what they're going through. But so let that not discourage you from going after what you want, because the people who have the hardest, they make the most sacrifices to get to where they want to be, and they respect themselves for the sacrifices that are made. They respect themselves for the circumstances that they're at. So respect yourself. I love you guys.